Hari Om, good evening to all my dear friends and dear sadhaks. A very warm welcome to each one of you. Come, let's pray together. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutam gamaya sahana vavatu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vedvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. We all offer our humble salutations to that Almighty who is Kshetrajna, Akshara and Yoga. In the second verse, we have Kshetrajna and Akshara of the Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram. Bhutatma Paramatma cha Muktanam Paramagatihi Avyaya Purusha Sakshi Kshetrajnokshara evacha. So Kshetrajna and Akshara, they come from the second verse of the Vishnu Sahasranama. Let's understand its significant and deep meaning of this holy name. Kshetrajna. Our body, entire body is considered the Kshetra, that is the field. The knower of this field, that is the knower of this field right from the body of every jiva. The entire creation on this planet, in this universe, of every jiva, the knower of this particular body, to the entire universe, including the creation, sustenance, and dissolution, he is known as a Kshetrajna. So the body of all the jivas and the entire composition or creation of the universe, the one who knows each and every minute aspect of this entire field is known as a Kshetrajna. Then 17 is Aksharaha. So here, Akshara means the undecaying Supreme Self. In one word, the undecaying Supreme Self, which means there is no change in this particular Lord. What he was 1,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, he is the same now, and he is going to be the same even after 10,000 years ahead. So where absolutely no decay, no change. So with this quality, he is called as Aksharaha. Now we come to the third verse. Yogo yoga vidam neta pradhana purusheshwaraha narasimha vapu shriman keshava purushottamaha. So in this particular shloka, we'll take the word yoga, the first word of the shloka. So yoga, the realization of oneness of the individual and the Supreme Spirit, that is the Supreme Lord, by keeping our senses of knowledge in union with our mind, all focused to understand this oneness. This process is known as yoga, and this process is known to that Supreme Lord. And only we as a jiva, by knowing this process, we can become one with that Lord, who is readily there to accept each and every jiva which wants to become one with him. So for that quality of his, where he is readily accepting people to come and become one with him, so he is called as yoga. To such a great Lord, we together all offer our humble salutations. We seek his grace, his mercy, his blessings, his compassion, love, forgiveness, his strength, Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya. And we all beseech in him to pave the path of realization to each one of us who are striving in that direction. Our humble salutations to the entire Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. So today we are on our Divine Discourse number 156, the 3rd of November 2020, Sharvarinam Samvatsara, Dakshinayana, Sharadrutu, Nija Ashweja Masa, Krishna Paksha, Tritiya, Rohini Nakshatra, Parigha Yoge, Bhadrak Karane. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the time of the evening, Naham Karta Hari Karta Hari Preranaya Hari Prityartam. We all are receptors of this divine blessing by the Lord. We have no role to play over here. He has granted us this divine knowledge, and He will make us understand this divine knowledge, and He will take us on the path to the Supreme. Oh, that's it. A very warm welcome to each one of you once again. So we were studying the quality of Sakshi Bhava. See, this Sakshi Bhava is an extremely important quality again. Reason is, what comes between us and the Lord is the ego. There is nothing else which is coming between us and the Lord. Everything in this universe, if you logically and sensibly deeply think, this whole universe has been created by the Lord. The entire life species, sentient, insentient, they all have been created by the Lord. Now, let's look at ourselves. What we are fighting here is this particular I factor in us. I, me, myself, mine, that I am doing, I am getting this, I am giving this, I am experiencing this. This I, where did it come from? Now in our own life, let us say, the very first day when the sperm and the ovary, they materialized, you became one single cell, unicellular. You are one cell. And now that multiplied into almost 37 to 40 trillion cells. Till you were about the age of 4 or 5, there was no I factor in you. And then slowly, with the grip of Maya, this I factor started coming in you. And now, when is this I factor strong in you? Only in your waking state. Say if you're sleeping for about 7 or 8 hours a day. For that 16-17 hours, while you are awake, this I factor is very predominant in you. You want to fetch that, you want to get that, you want to achieve that, you want to experience that. Only when you are awake. And then when you go off to sleep, in your dream state as well as in your deep sleep state, this I factor is absolutely not there. So on a daily basis, this I factor is coming and it is going. It is coming and it is going. Now, what is this I factor and from where does it come? We have to just address this issue, that's all. This is the small and the only correction which we all need to do in our lives. If we get this, then we are done. Clarity plus purity equals a realized person. Now, by doing so much of sadhana in terms of japa, we are cleansing ourselves. So that is purity. By now understanding these scriptures, getting to learn slowly what do they talk about, where is that I am caught, where is that I am stuck in this jivatva. This is not my nature. And suddenly, I don't know, one fine day, I understand that I am so and so, and one fine day when the jiva dies, you again don't know where you're going to go. Then again you will spring up somewhere. I want to put an end to all this. So where is that I am stuck? I want clarity. So clarity and purity is equals to a realized person. Now here, Lord Sri Rama, he tells his brother Lakshmana, what is Maya? He says, Gav gochar jahan lagi man jai, so sab Maya janho bai. He says, all that you experience with your senses and your mind, know that all that comes under the realm of Maya. In very simple words, he says, mind is Maya, body is Maya, senses are Maya, this entire world is Maya. It is created. And what is Maya? Maya is that power of the Lord, where He has created all this. Now, from where did you come in between? Where did this I factor, I, come in between? You have been created by the Lord. The world has been created by the Lord. You have been sustained by the Lord. You eat all nice things, whatever you like, you eat. He provides all that you want to eat. He digests all that you want to eat. From time to time, He gives you the breath to go to the next moment. From time to time, He is taking care of your entire functioning of your body. So will not a person who is the owner of everything, when he sees somebody coming and saying that this is mine, is it not a proper encroachment? So this is that which encroachment which we need to give up. And how has it come? With the power of Maya. So any activity which springs up in the mind in terms of a thought, mind is made up of 4 components. Manaha, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. Manaha is mind. Buddhi is the intellect, where the mind gathers all the information and gives the inputs to the intellect, Buddhi. The intellect gives you a decision. You do this, you don't do this. Chitta is memory. For any decision you want to take, you will go to the past memories. Ahankara is that which is imbibed in us. By default, we have been born with this. So now what happened? Any point of time, a thought springs up in your mind and the intellect gives a decision to do or not to do, automatically the ahankara vritti is the thought. The ahankara that gets associated with the buddhi vritti, that is the intellectual thought, and you start saying, I did this, I did that, I am going to do this, I am going to do that. That is how this I factor has come. Now let's go a little more deeper into this. See, because this is the challenge and this is where we are stuck. I want to focus more on this, and I want all of you to understand this point extremely crystal clear. It is just that you need to pay attention and understand for yourself and tell the Lord, yes, I know. From millions of births, millions of lives, this I factor has been associated with me. And oh Lord, give me the right courage and give me the right power to drive this away. Now, if I tell you that a tree in front of your house is not you, you will easily accept. Do you have to think about it much more to get this understanding that tree is different and I am different? No. You very well accept that the tree in front of my house is not me. That electric pole in front of my house on the road is not me. This telephone, mobile in my hand is not me. This book is not me. Now you say, when it comes to the body, you say it is my body. Because of that long association and that proximity which is there, Tadatma Bhava, what we discussed, you have been constantly associated with this body, its senses, it and the mind. So what has happened? You have gained that kind of a close nexus. What we have to understand here, the technical point is that, well, it is your body, but it is not you. It is your phone, but it is not you. It is your watch, but it is not you. You are not that watch. That's all what we need to understand. You are the one who is using all this as instruments in your hand. Now your body is just an instrument in your hand, which is nothing more than the mobile what you hold. Your mind is nothing more than the pen or the book you hold. It is an instrument in your hand. Now how do we arrive at this? There's about 800 years ago, there was one book written by Swami Vidyaranya known as Drik Drishya Viveka. In that particular book, he has explained it step by step. He could understand why people are not able to come out of this Aham Bhava. Let it be very clear to them that Lord is the owner of this universe, He is the owner of each and every creation in this universe. Why have to they bring themselves into it? So what he says is, like, when you see something, it is different from you. It is an object to your eyes, isn't it? Now you see a tree, you see a car, you see a mobile, you see a house. So what are these? These are all objects. And who is seeing that? Your eyes are seeing that object. So now what happened? Objects are different from the seer. So there is something which is seen and there is something which is seeing. This is clear? Now he says, there is something which is also seeing your eyes. And who is that? It is your mind which is seeing your eyes. How do you come to know that your mind is seeing your eyes? Yes. Now it knows sometimes the eyes are tired. Sometimes the eyes are fresh. Sometimes you feel that probably your power has increased. You are not able to see it clearly. Sometimes you feel your eyes are watery. Sometimes you feel your eyes are dry. Now there is something which is behind the eyes which is watching your eyes. So eyes become an object and the mind becomes the seer. Now go one step backwards. Is there something which is seeing your mind? Can we see our mind? Yes, of course. I come to know that now my mind is full of thoughts. Thoughts are just running, passing by. Sometimes you say, now my mind is peaceful. There are not so many thoughts. You know that you're joyful. You know that you're calm. You know that you're in pain. All this is, how is it coming? It is coming from something which is behind the mind, which is observing all these changes. Now, this is the concept which we need to understand. And here, you are that one person behind who is seeing everything. And who is that? That is that Lord within, that consciousness within, who is giving the power, the energy to all these apparatus. And what are the apparatus? Your body, your senses, your mind are all the apparatus in the hands of the consciousness. So in the first stage, you have to look yourself that it is not me as a person. Me meaning your Aadhaar card details, You have that. I am so and so, son of so and so, wife of so and so, husband of so and so, parents to so and so, I live here so and so, my gender is so and so, my age is so and so, my qualification, my occupation. All that is not your true self. It is only there in the waking state. The true self is that Supreme Lord who is constantly within and who is enlivening this entire life. So this is the point which we need to catch over here. Now let's take a few stories which we will understand. So we heard of how Jagadguru Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya, he spoke in those 6 verses that I am none of these, but I am that pure consciousness within. That is what exactly we learnt by this process now. So this I factor for no reason has come by the power of Maya, which we need to eradicate completely and surrender completely to the Lord. So we need to get that clarity by knowledge and purity of the heart by our sadhana. There was a yogi. He had a small ashram and he used to teach in his ashram. So one day for Bhiksha, he had gone out into the neighboring village and he comes back and he narrates to all his students. You know what he says? He says, "Arey, today was a very bad day for that Mohan." He uses the word Mohan. Now, Mohan went for Bhiksha and I saw him. From one house to another house, he was going for Bhiksha and slowly a group of 8-10 boys, they started following him. And then they started teasing him. And you should see how this Mohan's face was changing. And then they started pulling his hair. And then they said, "What funny clothes you're wearing." They started pulling his robes. Now, this Mohan was getting terribly disturbed. He was about to cry. You should have watched him. It was fun. He was narrating about this incident which happened. And the students know that our teacher, when he is referring to a person by name Mohan, which means he is referring to himself. He did not say that this happened to me, 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 me. He did not say this. He just uses a name as a third person. As we say, it happened to some Ram, or it happened to some Govind, or it happened to some Satish, Mahesh. That way. He uses a name for himself, Mohan. So practice of this passive voice of speech is one of the ways where we can slowly reduce that impact of that aham vritti, or that thought of I, which is deeply getting strengthened in us. Another incident. A businessman in Delhi. Now he was very much disturbed by the calamities he had seen in his business. So what happens? He is not able to manage himself. Mind is constantly thinking. His BP has risen, his diabetes has gone for a toss. Now he says this is high time because I'm not able to sleep. He's on heavy medication. His health is going worse, his business is going worse, and his mental condition is going super worse. So somebody advises him, why don't you go to a sadhu or a yogi in the Himalayas and take some advice? They probably will bless you and guide you how to go about. So this person makes up his mind. He says okay, and he goes to the Himalayas. And there, up in the hills, he meets a yogi there. And he goes and tells him, hey Maharaj, Swamiji, I'm in deep misery. Please give me a way how I can come out of it. So now the Swamiji tells him, you know that you are miserable? He asks him. Yes, of course. Because I know and am not able to control myself, I have come here to you. Please save me. And then the Swamiji says, look, if you are able to see your misery, which is in your mind, that means you are the observer or the seer of that misery. It is not you. You are the observer. That misery is in your mind. So, misery doesn't belong to you, it belongs to the mind. Think about it, he tells him. Now, this businessman, of course, is a very shrewd person and that way smart guy. One thought is given to him and he does constant chintan and manan on that particular thought. The same principles what we discussed, the Swamiji tells him that way. See, this is how it is. You are different from your mind. So that mental distancing happens over there. And when that mental distancing happened, this businessman slowly found this calmness and serenity in himself. So likewise, a few weeks passed, things also started getting better in business. And then he felt very happy. So he again comes to the Swamiji and he tells him, Swamiji, Maharaj, I'm so glad. I feel so happy now. Things have become better. I'm very glad. Now the Swamiji says, wait, you are making a mistake again. You are not glad. You are the observer of that joy in your mind. Be careful. So, likewise, we have to have that Sakshi Bhava. We have to, a disturbing thought comes in your mind, be an observer of that disturbing thought in your mind. A joyful thought comes in your mind. Be an observer of that joyful thought. By this, what happens? Your life becomes very smooth. There are no ups and downs. That observer is always calm and blissful, because that is the nature of that Sakshi. It is only we have these ups and downs at the level of the body and the mind. So once we do this, your life will be smooth, and at the same time you are not bought under the kartrutva or bhoktrutva, meaning you are not doing anything, isn't it? So the law of karma does not apply to you. These are those fine secrets which we get from the Bhagavad Gita. Become a Sakshi to yourself. Understand that crystal clear that there is no you in yourself. It is by that Maya which has come into you. Throw it out. See the Lord and Lord alone in yourself. He has created everything, you as well as everything around you, in you and outside you. He is the creator. So it is He who is doing everything. Just like when you eat a sumptuous meal, after that you are not bothered what happens to that meal. How it gets converted into nutrients, how it gets converted into blood, into flesh, into bones. You are not bothered. Then why are you bothered about what is happening in the outside world? It is just that by default we are used to this, and that is the power of Maya and the senses, which we just now understood what Lord Sri Rama was telling Lakshmanji, that this is all Maya and it is playing around. So you have to, by the grace of the Lord, come out of the grip of Maya by having a clear understanding. Oh Lord, I understand. It is not me. It is you and you alone. Surrender yourself over here. Jnana, Vairagya, Bhakti, and then Sharanagati, and eventually comes moksha, liberation. See, these are all the steps. As you gain more and more knowledge, also start gaining dispassion, that disassociation with the world, because it is not you. Then increase the power and dosage of bhakti, that reverence and devotion to the Lord. And with complete surrender. With these four things, you finally reach the pinnacle, the ultimate. So this is what exactly we have to understand over here. That I factor is not there. Become a witness to each and every activity. See, I tell you, just start practicing for 15 minutes. As you are not bothered of what activities are happening inside, how is your next breath coming? Are you thinking about it? I should now take a breath. I should now leave the breath. I should now again take a breath. Is my heart pumping or not? Is my kidneys working or not? Is my liver working or not? Is my digestive system functioning or not? Are you thinking about it? But there is a whole lot of work which is happening within you. So just surrender. For 15 minutes practice, I am leaving or surrendering everything to the Lord. There is no I factor for the next 15 minutes. I am not doing anything. The Lord who is doing within me will do also in the external world. Whatever thought has to come, it will come, and actions will happen accordingly. But I am not doing. You have to reduce that grip which you have in this world of objects, emotions, and thoughts. We are now completely, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to tell this, I have to just relax. 15 minutes. Then slowly increase your time. And your senses are there, organs of action are there, your mind is there. When something happens, become an observer of a thought. Somebody calls you up and says, I want to do this. We have to discuss about this. So now be a witness to that discussion. Don't say, I am doing it. Just observe your mind and body functioning. How your mind is getting a thought, your intellect is processing, giving you an idea, and your mouth is speaking what your intentions are. And the other person, accordingly your dialogue happens, and then there is some action accordingly. Now become an observer to such kind of small incidents in life. And then you will see that you are slowly getting out of the grip of Maya and that Aham factor. The moment you start the Sakshi Bhava practice, that is your first step towards liberation. Start on a small note, 15 minutes, and then slowly you can increase. You will feel very calm and peaceful, because now your mind is not thinking. You will start thinking, and you will be gushed with thoughts only when you have that I factor within you. Practice on these lines, and then you see how you grow on the path of spirituality. Come, let's do. Let's chant the closing mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together we offer today's Gita Jnana Yajnas at the lotus feet of the Lord, and once again seek His grace, mercy and blessings. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namama. Om Tat Sat. Our salutations to the entire Guru Parampara. Hari Om. Good evening. I think today we had a lot of disturbance on the broadcast. There were a lot of spikes in the Wi-Fi connections which we had. They were almost a drop every 2-3 minutes. My apologies for that. I'll see what I can do about it. So have a good evening, and we meet again on Friday, same time. Hari Om. Thank you everybody for being a part of this wonderful journey.